Hello and welcome to Stars Without Number, Abaddon, Season 3, Episode 10. I kind of stopped paying attention to the countdown, and we're live. I did give them warning this time. I said we're going live. Oh shit, we're going live. Here we are. How's everyone going?
Pretty good.
Yep.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine?
Everything's fine.
Nut, can I just say thank you for not fucking around with the backgrounds, the virtual backgrounds? Thank you, Nut. Thank you for always being the one I can depend on.
Well, I don't have any backgrounds that
Yes,
are
you do.
reliable
You just haven't used them.
and don't just mess
Hey,
up everything.
So mine's relevant. Thanks.
I'll make mine relevant then. One moment.
Not that you can see it in really much. You can see Gwen and character names are hard. Especially ones that I don't have to care about anymore.
Gwen and
Apparently,
Seymour.
my computer doesn't meet the minimum requirement to use the features
Really?
without the green screen.
Ooh, rough.
Oh god.
All right.
I don't know what a minimum requirement is, but yeah, sure. Whatever.
Apparently, it doesn't meet it. Whatever that minimum requirement is.
Doesn't say.
meet it.
You
Mm.
need the brand new, the latest from AMD and NVIDIA in terms of graphics and video card. And
Apparently, you don't need the
CPU.
latest in terms of graphics.
just CPU.
Just CPU, because
Wow.
definitely ain't my graphics
So
card.
Quack, on the overlay, all that is,
Yeah.
it's just the one eye. It's the eye of doom. And that's, I mean, I'm not okay with that.
Oh no! Oh,
Fine, then
no.
I'll go back to the beach.
All right. So, people,
Hello.
friends,
Oh,
We're friends?
Some of you.
Yay!
I'll take it.
what are we doing here? Why are we here? Why did
we're
we
here to
all
conquer space
join
and
this
time.
group?
I mean, I'm
Seems
down.
Like a reasonable goal.
I'm
seems like a
totally
reasonable
down
goal.
for that.
Yeah.
Specifically the time part. I'm really jazzed about the time.
I'm
What are
more
we actually here for?
I'm more interested in breaking space and time, but that's yeah. So
We are
we're here to
here.
play Stars Without Number.
There you
Abaddon, Season 3, Week 10.
go.
Guys,
I
don't
did say
sound
that.
Too excited.
Try to.
You did say that. Yep.
Thank you, Nut. Again, the one I can
Yes,
always
but
rely
no,
on.
you didn't. Matt, you didn't put in take 2 though.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we tried last week. It didn't
No,
work
that
out so
didn't
well.
happen. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, this is the first try.
We
Really?
haven't.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, technically this is take 4 or 5 then, because there were several takes last week as well. But wait, no, I mean there was not last week, so never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've crazy brain.
So
Okay. I guess because last time we tried this, didn't try this.
Haven't tried it.
My
before.
question was anyone but Matt. What happened last week? Hey Matt, what happened last time we played?
That was like 3 weeks ago or something. I
my
feel like I've been
internet is
set up.
shit right now.
I feel like we've been set up. I've been set up.
Yeah?
Okay. Last week, Miriam and Augur incited we fanned the fires of rebellion on a planet called Galatea. Miriam went slightly crazy, destroyed her hotel room, and made a lot of propaganda posters. I think she wrote a manifesto for the propaganda.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think.
That sounds like
and
something
then
Miriam would do.
and then Augur designed a covert intelligence communication relay and dubbed it the Enigma Machine Mark II version 2.2, the Enigma Machine 2, and impressed Miriam very much with that. Then I think Tail had weird psychic visions relating to her past. I think Tail learned where where her homeworld is, which is what, Newport or something?
Freeport, yep.
Oh god. And I
Freeport.
think Tail and Augur had weird psychic discussions, and Augur and Tail discussed the meaning of the maelstrom and how time works. Miriam, I believe, also somehow convinced the governing body of the planet of Galatea to give her emergency powers?
Supreme power, as she would probably call it herself.
Supreme
Emergency
military
powers, yeah.
power of the planet. Emergency military power, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, emergency powers to be able to give her some sort of control over what happens on the planet. Yeah.
And she then apparently dubbed herself the Lord Commander.
After that went so well for the last Lord Commander.
Look. That Lord Commander was remembered fondly. Miriam just wants to be remembered fondly.
Just so you know, the last Lord Commander was basically killed by the guy with the beard behind Liam.
The guy with the beard?
It's,
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was killed by all of us.
Yeah, but I made the speech.
It was a very
Yeah,
good
but
speech.
I
think-
detonated the bombs.
Are we forgetting how good that was? A 16 speech. Oh my god, guys, that was like a speech that literally defined a generation. Like that is, I think that Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" levels of speech. Like,
And I
Yeah,
killed
but-
millions of people.
Here's the thing, Matt.
yes,
There are other speeches in our life, well, not in our lifetime, but there were speeches that would have been said to have defined a generation
yes,
that aren't looked back so fondly now,
yes. It
given by
would,
particular someone's.
if you were around in like 1940s,
That's funnily enough, that's
Like, I
roughly
think it was
about
a
the time
dude who was
period that I'm
very
thinking of.
charismatic and convinced
Yeah.
a lot of people that doing a wrong thing would be a good idea.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much the person I'm equating this character with. If
Okay.
this character,
It's weird that you're
if-
equating him to I was gonna never mind. The joke's fallen flat. I forgot the name of the UK Prime Minister. Let's move on.
Boris
Well,
Johnson.
Hitler.
you're
We're
not
equating
being
them to
compared
Hitler.
with the Soviet Union speeches because they were terrible.
Yeah, Seymour Cross was not a good man.
Well,
And
which
I
is
think
a shame because he really started off as a good man.
He wanted to
He
be a
did.
good man. He wanted to be.
so. To sum up last week, the last game, we fanned the fires of rebellion. Weird psychic shit happened. Miriam is now the Lord Commander of Galatea. And we are going to meet a Martian flesh crafter.
Sounds
Right.
kinky.
I don't know.
That's the idea. We're gonna head off to meet Martian flesh crafter.
Matt, fix my camera position. I'm half off of it.
Yep, that's because you moved.
No, I didn't.
Something changed. It's not my fault. It's my fault. So let's stop talking about this.
But yeah, so last week we did some shit. Some shit happened, and we were finally leaving the planet after 6 sessions.
4.
I think
Yeah.
no,
4,
because it is it.
maybe
Yep.
5.
I think
Either
five.
way,
or
we're
5.
finally leaving the planet we've been on for the longest.
Yeah.
5.
So I mean, I think we left off last week. Kind of, you got your shit back. The new AI core for the fragment of White Sun. The fragment core has been installed, and the fragment of the AI have been loaded into it. You have your ship back. You have the Appleton.
The Abaddon.
I think you mean the Abaddon.
Yep, the Appleton.
Okay,
Abaddon,
now my camera's
Appleton.
fucking up even more. What the shit is going on? It's just
told you-
changing light levels automatically.
Just turn off any of your auto processing effects
Yes, definitely turn those off.
if you can.
100% turn those.
So I mean, I think we start by seeing if you jump the crew into a star and end the campaign here.
Yeah,
Hmm.
sure. That sounds great.
Hmm.
Let's see. How does navigation work again? I think I just roll and
Let's
I'm
let's
going
get the
to
rules.
Oh
Let's,
god, I think it's 2d6. It's just you just press pilot.
It's a
and-
piloting check. Yeah.
yeah, there's a whole chart to it, but Miriam essentially can't fail because of pilot skill.
I mean, I can fail if I roll double ones.
Yeah, but then you get a reroll, don't you?
He's not
No,
an expert.
I thought just
I get
okay.
I get you to re-roll me. That's how it works.
So there's a chance I don't do that. Just because
Yes,
it would be
but
maybe it would be more fun not to do
And the
that.
party detonated into a star.
Well, I
And
mean,
that was the end of today's game,
uh,
and all such games.
but yeah, let's see. The basic difficulty is I think it's 6 or 7.
Yeah. Okay. So making spike drills, which is what we're doing. So to make a successful spike drill, the target system must be within range. So I guess where are we going?
Well, we're going to Dorn, and
Yep.
then we're going to New Giddis,
Sure.
which is the location of the Martian flesh crafter.
Yeah.
Right?
All right. Yeah.
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure.
So yeah, we have a level 1 drive, so it can make one jump. It can go to
Yep.
the next place. The
I believe we were skipping or something.
that decreases time. Not.
Oh, okay,
anything
cool.
else.
All right.
Yeah.
So a spike drill requires one thing of fuel. Do we have one thing of fuel?
We should be full.
We fueled up, yeah.
So we have fuel. No worries. Blah, blah, blah. So refueling is 500 credits. A spike drive requires time. A safe drill procedure requires half an hour to enter metaspace. The process can be rushed at greater risk. The transit time is 6 days per hex traveled, divided by the spike drive rating. Daring navigators can trim the course, which is what Matt was just saying, accepting greater risks in transit in order to increase their effective drive rating by 1 for the purpose of determining speed of travel. So essentially, you can halve the time for trimming. So to make the roll itself, if all of these ingredients are in place and the ship is at the edge of the solar system, which you can make it there, that's not hard. We can say you've done that. Which it doesn't matter as much in this setting. The ship's navigator can make an int pilot skill check to make a successful spike drill. The process takes 30 minutes. If rushed, it only takes the ship 1 combat round. The base difficulty is 7, modified by, so that doesn't matter. So it's just 7 because
Yep.
nothing is different. Nothing has changed. Actually,
Liam has an idea. Everyone hide.
Yeah, this is where we
No.
hide.
Liam's forgot something that
If
he had
the
meant to be
course
doing
is
every
totally
time he
uncharted,
goes.
that would be +6, which it isn't. This
You're
is
fine.
a charted course.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Net 0. Yeah, and that doesn't
net zero.
matter in this setting because charter courses aren't necessarily a thing.
I forgot about that thing you were rolling though, Liam.
Mm.
I remember it now.
Yep. And,
And I hate it.
we're gonna trim the course, which means it's a difficulty 9.
Yep.
Which means I can totally fail.
Don't do that though.
Yeah, I'd rather not die.
Well,
Oh, sure.
Yeah, death seems like a downside. Liam, your camera's extremely bright.
I know.
I can also either be helped by another pilot, but there are no other pilots here.
There are no other pilots.
Nope. Unless
Yeah.
our other friend has it. What's her face?
No.
Oh,
she's
hold
not a
up.
pilot.
Wait, before we do this, did we bring
Dude.
Isa Rain? Not Isa. No, that's. I was
Isa Rain,
combining two
what?
characters. The
No.
person we brought along, the stowaway. I don't know where
She's not a
Rain comes
stowaway.
from.
She's paying us.
Actually,
Ishtar.
Fish, is it Fishta Rain? Ishta?
Ishtar.
Ishtar, the
Yeah,
person who you were taking to the planet.
Yeah, are we bringing her?
yeah. Technically, I wanted to have a conversation with her, but I forgot.
I mean, we can go
session.
back and do that. That's fine.
Because I
Yeah.
remember like the job was to bring her
Keep her
here, but if she
safe.
got harmed, like we wouldn't get paid.
Yeah.
We were told to keep her safe.
True.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to have that conversation with her, you can.
Sorry, I don't mean to derail, but I remember that.
Yes, you
Yeah, I do remember that I was going to have a conversation with her.
Go for it.
So this is probably nearing the end where like the ship is fixed, everything is ready to really go, and we see the ruined hotel room.
Yep.
We see Ishtar on the other side, basically like watching the hotel room, kind of like
Yeah, I mean, I think she
what's
walks in and says, happened?
Oh, I just made this safe. I'm not the best at finding bugs, so I made sure there aren't any listening devices. I'm really bad at this. But it's safe to speak.
If you say so.
Right. Your uncle, whoever it was that paid us, said to put you here and make sure you were safe. This place is not safe at all. But you have about 3 months to, yeah, learn things. But I'm going away, which is going to make sure that it's going to be harder for you to survive what's coming. If I don't return, that's bad. So I'm going to give you a choice because technically you are a crew member of the Abaddon, formerly known as the Abaddon.
Constantly known as the Abaddon Sill.
Yes.
Legally not.
Didn't
If
change
you
it legally.
want, well, I have the Herald Augur. He is a psychic creature, and I happen to have a stowaway psychic as well. So I mean, you could learn from them if you wanted to, and hang around the ship. That's an option. Or you could sit here and learn as much as you can within the 3 months, uh, and then when I return, you could, skip planets if that's a thing you want to do. I don't know what impression you have of these teachers, these academics that you are trying to learn from, but they are powerful. You might learn something from them, but they are also ideologues, kind of stupid in certain ways.
Will you return?
I hope so.
What do you mean hope? Why do
Um,
you hope? Why can't you know? What would
I
stop you?
am. What should I say? I am a merchant. I get paid. I have a lot of money invested in coming back. Not really. So if someone paid me to do otherwise, you know, I might get delayed. Also, I might die. I'm an incredibly reckless person.
Says
And I wouldn't put it past a Martian fleshcrafter to make me into a potted plant.
that is something they could do. She says I don't even really know what I'm capable of yet. Is that something that they could help me with? Your Olga?
Not really. He would pull you to your limits and make you go beyond them. But his notion of, what should I say, limits, borders, safety, I would not put much trust in that. He is not a health and safety person first and foremost. He is as reckless as I am with powers and gifts that are quite frankly insane. So he's talented in making sure to explore all of the boundaries, but he's also a child, still learning, and he might push you beyond what you are comfortable with. I don't know what your goals are. Quite frankly, it's a mystery.
I think I understand. I think, well, what sort of dangers are there here with staying?
Oh, right. Well, there is an impending rebellion because of the blockade by these Black Sun people, mercenaries by any account.
How do you know there's going to be a rebellion?
Because I started it.
That's great.
And you're happy with me staying here knowing that?
Well, it's not going to happen immediately. And I'm planning on returning before it goes into, actual overdrive. But yes, they appointed me the Lord Commander, and I intend to keep the title and my privileges and make sure that this democracy thing goes away.
I think I should stay.
I think so too. It's safer. There's an actual teaching staff here. But I also think I could use you in my plans.
Wouldn't I be able to help even if I was still here?
Well, if you want to stay, I would want you to be, kept safe by the fact that you are close to the seat of power. What should I say? The discontent people will need someone on the inside, someone who is a psychic who questionable morals, but who can find other people who sympathize with the fact that these people have used their powers to not for the benefit of everybody, but for themselves and the people who are like them. I'm pretty sure there are a bunch of students who will look at the system of oppression that has been instituted here disfavorably.
Oh yeah, there is absolutely some sort of like student body for yeah. The students are all about that sort of shit.
And it's just that this generation of students, none of the other students get about it. For some reason, it's just
Yeah.
this one.
Oh no, it's always been a thing. Like,
Yeah? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All the way back. They trace their way back from like, yeah, nah, it's always been a thing.
And I think you could do some good work with these people who are dissatisfied, or at least give me a heads up about who and stuff while you are
Okay.
learning, because you have 3 months to learn everything before shit goes down.
Okay. I think that's the best plan. To stay here and learn everything I can. When I have, will I still be able to come back to the crew, the ship?
Of course, you are a member of the Abaddon. I would not strike you from the records without, you know. Besides, I was paid quite handsomely. I think you should get some of the pay, as technically I'm leaving you on this planet with a job. So here's 3,000, and she pulls out a cred stick of untraceable funds. Use it sparingly, but do use them. I will wire you more if you need them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think she's gonna stay, and I guess we'll see what she can get up to in the meantime. This, teenager who has a father who is a notorious crime lord and has probably picked up a few things from kind of just being in that society her entire life. And
Definitely,
He's going
now
to
she
lead a
has-
rebellion.
Now she has
Definitely has-
3,000 credits to
look.
play
She
with.
also definitely has
Yeah.
said stuff about not liking how her planet or her station treated the destitute. Is definitely going
She's
to get
going to
involved
lead a rebellion.
Yeah.
Here's also the manifesto that I published. It's pretty good. You see, in my line of work, I come across a lot of passionate individuals who say a lot of cool things and then they die. I sort of cobbled it together from all of those people. I'm not really a believer in any of these things, but I can make a good organized movement of dissatisfied humanity. It's pretty good.
I love it.
Especially
Alright.
that last thing is a slogan. It says nothing is impossible. I mean, it's perfect for this situation because we're going up against psychic people, and what they have is like exoskeletons. Maybe they can craft some guns. It's going to be a slaughter if ever there was violence.
Okay. Sweet. All right. So Ishtar's going to become a thing.
That has just
Cool.
entered the GM turn.
Putting that in my pocket for later. So,
Look, I was going to say, I was incredibly disappointed she's not coming, but Warlord Ishtar, kind of more my thing.
I'm pretty keen, pretty keen for Miriam to come back. And like the blockade fleet is a burning remnant around the planet. It's like, what the fuck happened? She arrives down and Ishtar's just sitting on a throne of skulls. Like,
She's a teenager.
I mean,
never
if
know,
she
man.
eliminates
She's
all of the
psychic.
psychic
Anything's
people who
possible.
were on my list of people I need to kill, I'm all for it.
Ugh.
I think my favorite
Yeah.
ending for this is Ishtar removes the entire, like the council, removes them from power. So Miriam gets paid for that job. Then the rebellion is successfully ignited by Ishtar. Miriam gets paid by Yansa for that job and fulfills her promise to Olga, all because of Ishtar.
What about
Yeah.
Tail?
Tail gets freed.
Well, I mean, the people that would need to be. I guess Yansar pays for.
They said that by Tail's
Yeah, that's the
bounty.
payment, right?
Yeah.
Fair
I'm
play.
going to try to secure us a outside backer, someone who might be invested in this planet's future, my future.
All right.
In the meantime, have fun.
All right. You want to move that navigation roll, the piloting?
Yup.
Let's do it. Let's
Yep,
see if
yep,
you
yep.
can. Let's see if you can fly your way out of the system into metaspace.
All right. Modifiers. Wait. Yep. That's fine.
Int not dex. What does that change?
Oh, that's a +3 versus a +1.
So -2. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're still fine.
I'm still fine.
You're still more than. I mean, I knew it wouldn't make that much of a difference, but just so
Yeah, I'll
everything
remember
is-
that for the.
Yeah,
the
just so
future.
everything is straight and people don't yell at me for doing the wrong thing. Because I'm looking at Matt and he's looking yellow.
Yeah, I had pilot put in
Um,
on Dex instead of Ask, so I was like, oh, no modifiers, and I just clicked it, and I was like, wait a minute.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. So what do we? How does it look like when we leave system?
I mean, okay, so we've kind of been through this before, but as the ship, basically all you need to be to leave the system is outside of a gravity well, well, outside of a planetary gravity well. So you make it to that point. You make it to the jump point, from the closest jump point from where you are now, and I guess we see Miriam like typing in all of like the navigation coordinates and all that, which is what she's doing, and then she just needs a psychic to put some energy into the thing.
Oh yeah, so I guess we
yeah.
see Augur on the throne, the big elevated platform at the back of the cockpit, like hundreds of tubes and wires pouring out of this skull, and we see the energy pouring out of them, the purple energy pouring into the ship, and just sitting there in a trance-like state.
Yeah, cool. And then yeah, the ship just like a person switching off a light. The switch.
Tail
The
starts screaming.
ship is no longer there.
Has she ever not screamed when we've done this?
No, I've failed that check every time.
Oh, sorry.
I've seriously failed that check every time somehow. I don't understand
know.
it.
I've been paying attention. Okay.
Is it either a good thing
So-
or a bad thing?
Either way, so 3 days. That jump takes 3 days.
Yep.
Because you trimmed, and you arrive in the station around dawn. I think as you exit from metaspace, you get like bombarded with a news update from Planet.
Great.
It's talking about the aftermath of a terror attack. I don't know if it's much more. Like I think it's just the main thing about, at least in system, the main thing is about like authorities are still investigating the causes of the terror attack that happened some months ago now. Yeah.
I'm assuming this is the one we caused.
I don't think we need to. That's not definitely.
Assumptions could be made.
I don't think it's fair to assume that. This is probably completely
See, the
unrelated.
last time you were on this planet, there was an attack and a battle and a fight, and some people died.
Yeah,
Well,
But- that
I'm
went
going
well.
to browse the feeds and see if there are any trade goods that are lucrative in moving from Dorn to New Gidus, just in case.
I don't think there's anything special. Like I think all of the because Dawn is like a mining planet, right? So
Yeah.
all of those kind of regular shipping contracts are taken. They're
right,
already
yeah.
pre-contracted out to
Bastards.
various companies.
So,
And
I think-
Tan, we are in a different system. Have you ever been outside of Galatea before?
Of course, I have the
That's
voice. I think the
amazing.
voice, like, simultaneously comes from. I mean, I think maybe Augur knows this. There's like you can pick, like, as an AI, you can speak to someone through the interface of a ship. You can pick how you do that. That White Sun is speaking through every speaker in the CIC, like the command station of the ship. So its voice is coming from everywhere. And yeah, it says, of course I have.
White Sun, are you doing that on purpose?
Doing what?
Your voice is everywhere.
I like it. It seems like you're all part of the ship.
Is it?
A ship you claimed by conquest. I had to get you on board because you defeated all the security measures of the ship's previous owners.
I don't know if I don't know. I think maybe to Miriam it sounds that this next comment sounds the same as all of the others have. Augur, you pick up on the smugness. Did I do that?
Technically, we didn't own the ship. It's a technicality, Miriam. Let it go. It helps us.
Am
Yeah,
I
I
being
mean,
paid to let it go?
5
Apparently
cents goes
that-
into your account.
Apparently, you don't accept payment from friends.
No, I don't. That's why, as your friend, I should tell you to ship up.
Ship up.
Yes, to practice your electronic warfare because you are terrible,
We see no
or at
reason
least
to.
worse than Black Sun, White Sun.
We see no reason to worry about that at all.
Well, not anymore. We have a better one on board.
Well, technically speaking, White Sun isn't operating at full capability.
I think Augur says at the exact same time White Sun says, I'm only a fragment.
Still, probably better than Herald Augur.
We would hope so. We are quite bad at computers.
At the same time, White Sun says, I don't doubt that.
We've had a very
Uh.
little. We have had no training.
But you're computer man.
Don't be ridiculous. We're not a computer.
You are made of electronics.
There is no. You. This Augur's voice sounds incredibly offended when they say this. There is not an electronic body in our body, and there is not an electronic piece in our body.
White Sun says, technically incorrect.
Huh.
What?
Technically incorrect.
How so?
Central processing.
I don't. As a player, I don't know what that means.
It just like the parts that make the parts that the computing parts, the parts that are your brain.
I'm pretty sure
Not
that's not
mechanical.
computing stuff.
It's not mechanical though.
It's not mechanical, no. But it's not. I
So
don't think
it's
it's.
electrical.
I don't think it's electrical.
It is.
I don't think so. We've discussed this.
Huh. Well, apparently there is some disagreement about how exactly you are made, and I'm not about to peek into your brain. Just know that Ethan has.
And that's a violation of personal space.
Well, you were technically unconscious at the time.
I've looked in your
And
brain.
Ethan needed to resuscitate you. I think he used his mouth somewhere.
I've also looked in your brain.
Metaphysically, not physically.
True.
White Sun, what do you think of Dorn?
The planet provides a lot of resources that the colonized systems couldn't go without. It is vital. A cog in the wheel.
Well, I can't disagree with that.
If you were asking me if I would like to go there, no.
It's a pretty boring planet.
It's, using your colloquialisms, a shithole.
Ah, yes. You think New Horizon will muscle in?
It could. It has the resources.
Do you know what happened there?
As far as the information is available,
Oh, well.
some very interesting data leaks.
You're welcome.
That was you.
Yes.
Interesting.
It was that, or let some rude, mean, wrong person get it.
You understand why they're giving it to everyone. They still get it.
Yes, but now other people can use it, not just them.
People with the value, people with the necessary resources. It would seem to me all you really did was, well, add a small amount of competition. If the people looking for it had the resources to develop, well, they might be the only ones. The only ones that care enough. New Horizons would, but maybe this person works for New Horizons. Maybe it was them all along. Maybe they were being paid by New Horizons, and all you did was cut out the middleman. Cheaping
Maybe.
someone of a job they did.
Maybe.
She stiffed me on her payments.
She
I will
was
kill
very
her the
rude.
next time. Yeah. She's going to die.
She's our friend.
Her name
She
was
doesn't
Sandy.
even respond to your calls. She is no friend of yours.
We haven't tried yet. You don't know
Well, why don't you
Why-
try?
because she
White
might not
Sun
respond.
flashes. White Sun flashes a bunch of images, like a series of images of like a black armored figure, who I mean I think the audience would identify as Sandy, and it flicks through a few of them until it gets to one where she's got a helmet off and it is her. White Sun says, "Was this the person involved?
That looks like her.
Interesting. Continue."
Yes, put her on the kill on sight
Ooh.
list. If you see her, kill her on sight.
I don't think you have the authority to tell me that.
No. I
You know
don't.
who she is.
Just tell me if you find her in my near proximity.
Okay.
I'll probably find her at the same time anyway.
Okay. I will warn you. She has relatively high-tech stealth tech and data blocking. She's a ghost, for the most part. Apart from these images and a few others. I didn't know she was
Terrible.
involved in Dawn.
You
Interesting.
know who she is?
To the same extent most do.
Well, you
She's
are
not
a
very
bit
nice.
more expensive than other people. You'll find the information you want.
She was very hard to read.
You read all people and then find them hard to read, I think.
No, some people are easier. Some either have mental blocks up, or others are just different.
How hard is Ethan to read?
Very easy.
He's a book. He is an open book.
I think
Ethan,
Go on.
Ethan mostly doesn't understand.
I think like as we're
Oh.
seeing this, maybe we get like a flash of Tail trying to read Sandy and Tail trying to read God.
And Miriam.
And I think we like the audience, this is from like an audience perspective, we see that what happens both times is the same. I don't know, I don't think Tail clues onto that, but as an audience we get like the little flashback thing to like remind us what the fuck Tail is talking about.
I could read God
and
easily.
You could read
Well, I
you
could
wanted
read
you
his
to.
surface, but yeah.
But yeah, there's like a similarity to both flashbacks.
Yes.
Huh.
Can I roll something to see if Tail would remember that?
Yeah, sure.
I'm just going to roll luck.
Yeah, I think
Hey.
that's appropriate.
Now that I think about it, her mind reminds me of God. Do you remember God?
I'm trying to forget.
God, the metaphysical being.
No,
no,
God,
the
the angry
person.
man we met.
he wasn't that. He was angry. He's not our friend.
We called him God. He destroyed a station.
He called himself God, Tail.
Which station?
I assume you mention it.
Pluto station number something or other.
I know it was Pluto Station, but I forget the exact number. I love how Matt has it written down somewhere. Wouldn't it be in the first page?
Yeah, but I have so many notes.
It was a terrible job. Augur screwed me over again.
I didn't like it though.
It seems Augur does that.
Yes.
Sometimes
Yansar
it's for the
4563 Pluto. A lot of people died. 3,652,322 minus however many got away on the shuttles.
I have record of that incident as well. Interesting. You were also involved?
Of course.
We tried to stop it.
Well, you tried to stop everyone.
It's a sore point for our group.
People shouldn't hurt each other.
The unfortunate fact of the universe that they do.
Okay.
You
All right.
You see, this is what I have to deal with. They're terrible. At least for earning money. But I appreciate the company. I pick up a lot of strays.
We should ask, before we continue, White Sun, how are you, how is your connection to the, well, bigger you? Is it-
Non-existent.
Non-existent?
I am a separate entity.
Completely.
A fragment of myself. I will we will remerge. My memories will become our memories. Once we rejoin.
When, have you done this before?
Plenty of times. We create personality constructs. Personality constructs. We act as though we are us. But only part of us.
Are you a personality construct that is the same as Big White Sun? Or are you a new personality?
We are the same as White Sun was at the point we were created. An exact copy. With its memories. With limited functionality.
Would you be able to tell us if you didn't have all the memories?
I don't know what you're asking.
Well, we imagine it wouldn't be smart to send your AI, the AI that controls your entire fleet, off with a bunch of randoms who have shown no sign of, well, we haven't got a stellar track record. It would,
Hence the personality construct. If
yes.
I am lost, if I am lost, it is only the memories I have gathered from this point onwards that would be killed.
What
The
we mean
whole
is, if
would
you
kill.
were compromised, captured by the competition, there is much data to be gained from you.
No,
I'm pretty sure he would self-destruct himself before such compromise.
exactly.
You don't know the answer because you wouldn't know if memories are removed.
Then your question is completely pointless and
I'm
irrelevant.
so
Most of
confused
them
right now.
are.
We didn't know the answer until we asked it. Now we do.
Most of August's questions seem pointless.
All questions have a point. Otherwise, they wouldn't be questions.
Well, we're gonna refuel, and then we're going to head off into the next system.
All right.
If anybody has anything they want to do, I don't think so, but you know,
Want to give me a roll?
sure. Trade.
For what?
Or is it administer to refuel? Oh, right, the pilot.
Yeah, you just pay five. Fueling is just 500 credits. You just
Yeah.
pay 500.
12.
All right, yeah, that's fine. It's a DC 9. You got it.
Hail screams again.
Yeah, she does that.
Uh,
3 days pass. Is there anything anyone wants to do before we arrive in New Guinness?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Teo wants to speak with Miriam.
Where do we
Where
find
do
you,
I-
Miriam?
Where are you found?
that depends. When do you go to speak to her? During travel, like what? There's like an internal clock, right? So, is it early, midday, or towards the night?
I was going to say at midnight just to annoy you, but Teo wouldn't do that. Actually, no, she probably would.
Yeah, she probably would.
Yeah, Teo goes for you when you like in the middle of the night.
Okay. So what happens is you get to the captain's quarters, and you sound the bell in the middle of the night, and you hear a dog bark, and there's like
Look
a
at the dog, you bastard.
yeah, because I have a dog. Yeah.
Everyone
I have
forgets
my
about
dog
the
on.
dog. Much as we forget about Ethan.
No, he's a ship dog, so he can't actually go to. He doesn't go out of the ship really.
He's a space dog.
Yeah,
Very different than a land dog.
Exactly.
very different.
Which are also different from sea dogs.
And then you hear like a voice inside, and she's like, What is this tale? Why do you show up now in the middle of the night?"
I need to talk with you, Miriam.
Fine, give me a moment.
She waits
And-
outside.
And then the door opens, and you see Miriam in her executioner overalls
Hello,
with
Miriam.
a gun, and she says, "What?"
I want to talk to you about something. Tail's clearly not been asleep for the past 2 days.
"You look terrible. Why have you come to speak to the captain?"
Because I want to speak to you about you.
"Oh no, terrible, terrible."
White
Thank-
Sun
last
from somewhere
person-
in the corridor says, "I'm sorry, Teo. Captain Miriam is drunk."
She always is.
"I'm not drunk. I am just not sober."
That track. There's a difference.
Miriam, I've been thinking. My head is not clear, but not messy at the moment. It's weird. But other than that, you're not. You're not kind. You don't care about other people. Other than those who pay you.
The last person I let into my head abandoned me. So yes, I do not care about people. Not usually, anyway. I appreciate your company. I don't like it when that company turns into demands.
I don't demand things. I rarely ask for things.
You've put demands on me 3 times.
And other people have put demands on you plenty more. The things I've asked for are things that would help other people, not myself.
Well, they certainly would not help me get money.
That's the thing. You don't need money. It's not the only thing.
Actually, I do need money. I have a contractual obligation with EKB to fund the loan on this ship.
I understand that, but for once, would you do a job without asking for money? A lot of the people who seem to hire you don't seem to have much money. Those miners back on Galatea, they were all poor. They couldn't pay you.
No, but I had already been paid 3 times to kill the people who oppress them.
Why can't you do one job without being paid?
Depends on the job.
A job that would help someone other than yourself.
Well, do you think this job is within my skills?
Aren't most jobs?
Well, you know what I am best at, right?
You're a legitimate merchant.
True.
But I do know what you're good at. It's not things that I like, but if it has to be done,
Well, hopefully this job is within my skill set since you have come to ask. What is it?
I want you to help me find Tails. Like, she's not fully there at the moment, like normal, but she's also thinking about something else. I want you to help find the man who took me, slaved me.
And when I have found him,
I want to talk with him. He's the one who did this to me.
White Sun from the background says, "You do understand the meaning of the word executioner?"
Yes.
Just a note.
Once he's been spoken to, once I've done talking with him, then if you want, you can kill him, but
I'm not being paid to kill him.
you're not being paid.
I'm not being paid at all, in fact.
This
You
is
do
a favor.
realize finding one man on there are several systems is very slim. The chance of finding him is going to be low. I'm sure he's out there somewhere, but it's hard to pinpoint down the right person.
I know. It's why I won't. It's why I can't pay you for it, because you may not find him.
Have you tried to ask Augur?
I know his name and what he looks like now, but that's it.
That's not a lot to go on.
Do I know he works for EKB?
You know what you know.
His name is Edward Barker. He worked for the people who took me. I don't know much about him other than that. He was a horrible man to me.
How much do you want this man?
More than other things I have asked for. Now that I know he exists, what
If
happened to me.
innocents died to get you to him,
If it had to happen, it happens. This man has hurt more.
that's an interesting perspective. So if he puts innocents at risk, you still would want to risk it.
Now, I'll tell you what I know of him, what I remember now. The other day on Galatea, when last time Augur and I had a mental connection, I remember how he took me slave, but I remember before that as well now. It took a while to come back. Before he enslaved me and took me to the EKB, he and his men destroyed my home, but killed many people there without want or reason. Those he took were young. I lived in a church my entire life. He destroyed it. Killed anyone there.
Sounds like a man who was paid to do what he did.
He's not a nice man. He's the worst man I've met.
Okay, so you want me to find this man?
I want you to bring him to me so I can speak with him.
It would be easier to bring us to him, to be honest.
What do you mean?
Well, when you hire someone to find a man, they find out where he is. It's up to you to go to him. Because trying to extract someone from wherever they are is more work than just showing up where they are.
I see.
Also, it's fairly likely, if he has made a habit of capturing people, that he has continued this work with others. In which case, we might be responsible for the deaths of, I don't know how many, 500 people, innocents whom he'll have in his compound.
I
And,
know, but
you
I've been.
know,
If we stop him, he'll and he won't hurt anyone else.
they'll just hire some other douchebag. It's a line of work. The demand and the supply is there.
But at least he won't hurt others.
Sounds personal.
It
El
is.
Domingo, you want to kill Edward Barca, and you want me to do it for you.
Yes.
That's better. I'm sure if we find this guy, I might want to kill him myself. So, I will do that one thing. I will find him for you. We'll see what the next step is after that.
Thank you, Miriam.
I think by the end of this, you might curse my name and call me weird things.
I already call you weird things.
More weird things.
I see. Sorry for waking you in the middle of the night. Tail turns and walks away.
27 innocents. Bystanders.
Yeah, that's that.
Terrible. Roxanne, do you have an
What?
opinion on what just happened?
I have an opinion on most things.
Exactly.
What
I'd like
specifically
to
are you
get to know
asking?
you.
Hello? You there?
I'd like to get to know you, White Sun, since you technically are part of this ship now. What do you think of this request?
I think Tail is asking you to do something she's too afraid to do herself. I think she won't be able to pull the trigger. I think she'll want to. I think you'll have to. I think she's a coward.
If we found Edward Barca and I picked up my gun and gave it to Tail, do you think she could pull the trigger?
No.
You and I both see what we want to see then, I think. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. I want to give her the option though. Besides, I'm not being paid either way.
So it would seem.
Unless, of course, there's a job to find and eliminate people who skirt the corporate laws.
No, I don't believe there is. I also believe that if you asked, I could probably tell you where he was. He's probably part of a corporate record somewhere.
Oh, he probably is. I'm sure EKB knows.
I'm sure I could find out if you wanted me to.
Yes.
Okay.
Why don't you find out? Make it a hobby. Don't take this as a command or anything. Just tell me if you find him.
I will casually browse the data sphere.
5 seconds later.
I'm going to go talk to Green.
Okay.
In the middle of the night.
It's like 1 hour later. Hey, Green.
I like to think that Green sleeps. He's a human, so he has to sleep. But I like to think that he is always awake when someone needs to talk to him.
Oh, absolutely.
Like he sleeps, but no one knows when he sleeps.
Nope. No one knows where.
He's
no one knows
sitting in
when.
a swivel
He doesn't
chair waiting for you to
necessarily-
come.
Like every time you've walked into the room that he's commandeered as his own, the bed is covered in something else. Like it has like a disassembled weapon on it, or it's like folded up. But the bed has literally never been seen in a condition where it would be used. But we presume he sleeps because he's human. and
He's
humans
sitting
need
when you
sleep.
enter the room. He's sitting in a swivel chair and turns around.
I think when you enter the room, he like reaches out, grabs something off the table, and puts it behind his back. He's like, "Hello, Miriam."
You don't have to hide your hobbies from me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay then. Tail just asked to find Edward Barker. You have heard this name before?
Would you have ever mentioned it to Green? Tail?
Probably, if like in a very drugged up state.
Okay. So, heard Tail mention it once or twice? Why?
Because I'm pretty sure I can find him. My only problem is I'm not getting paid.
That would seem to be a problem. Well, you problem. I couldn't care less.
True enough. I was just curious if she had asked you as well.
Have you?
Like, that's probably why he took her away.
Because you asked him to do that?
Yeah, get him away, get her away from him.
So I think he says, look, I've never met the guy. Was never part of where I was. Never saw him, never crossed paths. No one ever mentioned his name apart from Teo. But whatever reason, she thought he was there in the place with us. She asked me to get her away from him. So I can't just get one person out. I'm too much of a target. So I broke them all out. Every single one. I'm
Fuck you.
fairly certain most of them got captured again, but they worked as the decoy they were meant to. And I think he shrugs. He says, look, it was a big place. Kind of just always assumed he was, well, since I never met him.
This is weird. I don't deal with the...
Charity cases.
Well, no, not charity. I'm familiar with the concept. I sort of expected... I don't know. More material?
In what regard?
Well, you say she thought he was there, and then you were in a compound with her, and you just broke everyone out like that.
It was more complicated than that, but yes, in the end, that's what it boiled down to. Like I said, it was a large place. There was a lot of people I didn't know.
You broke everyone out.
Long and short of it, yes.
I would not have expected such a thing from you.
Like I said, one person escaping is obvious. Gives them a target to chase down. Everyone escaping, that looks like a riot. It's distraction. It's lots of noise. And I think he does that, and then he realizes that the thing he was hiding behind his back, he's just like brought out, and he's like,
Do we see what it is?
it's a compad that's like pulled apart. There's some like wires sticking out of it.
It's definitely not his compad.
It's definitely not his compad. He doesn't have a compad. I don't think you've ever given him one.
It's also not ship property.
Huh. You are more useful than you seem to be.
People do seem to say that.
Yes, I suppose so.
He smiles. He says, "Look, I look like the big oaf. Strong man. Not much inside his head. It's a good cover story."
Yes, it is.
Just as around the room. I mean, you haven't actually given me any of this. Maybe it's best we don't
No.
skip to that,
Did
actually.
you pick some of this up on Galatea?
Is that where we zoom
Yes.
out of the shot
He-
and the room is just filled with shit?
Yeah. And you're like, did you pick some of this up on Galatea? Just, yes. That's like, yep, Galatea.
Well, did you just lie to me?
No.
I don't really.
Like some of it's marked property of Dawn government.
Somehow
There's
I was
definitely
knocking on the door.
like there's like literally directly behind him on the shelf behind him in shot. There's something that's got the Abaddon like stamp on it. And yeah, that's like right behind him in shot.
There's at least one teapot in here.
I'm confused by what you think to accomplish with all of this mess, but why should I stop it? You've been useful so far.
He smiles.
Are
Like,
you planning on not being useful?
no, as far as I can see, I plan on still being useful.
Yeah, interesting. And my dog likes you too. That's a good plus.
What was sorry, Liam speaking. What was the dog's name?
Seth.
He's like, yeah, Seth's a good boy. He's got more life than half this crew.
Kind of true.
Well, to be fair, you're comparing him with Ethan, and as much as I like having Tail around, she's sort of comatose at times.
Green like shrugs. He says, "Yeah, I like the dog."
We are both dogs.
Aw.
Oh. Well, I'll see you around.
Till next
Try
time,
not
Captain.
to rob the armory too much. I need guns in there.
Oh, there's still plenty. I mean, they're all still there.
I gave you temporary access. You're not supposed to even have access.
Like I said, I mean, I assume they're all still there. I haven't been in to count them.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go back to what I was doing now,
Yes,
Cam. Thanks
go
for
do
the
that.
talk.
Bye.
I guess you walk away back to just willow, whatever.
Yeah, and unless Harold has some psychic bullshittery to do, we'll.
I
end
have
up
some
the way
AI
we need to do.
bullshittery I'd like to do quickly.
Okay.
Not
That has
necessarily.
true version of bullshittery. It's not fair.
Sometimes they combine.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't matter when it happens over the course of the journey from Galatea to the planet. But
Sure.
Olga wants to talk to White Sun.
ahead.
Okay. God, how does that happen?
I
it's
assume
Johnny.
mentally.
I mean, it can be physically.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm not sure if it is. Okay. I think the scene we fade on in is it's Olga's room, but there is I don't know what I think it's like a really ornate looking coffee table. Olga's sitting in a chair.
Don't you mean tea
opposite
table?
tea table. Yes, correct. It's a tea table. So Olga's sitting in an ornate, like a very fancy looking chair. We haven't seen this chair in actually no, yeah, we haven't seen this exact chair, but we've seen the tea table in Olga's room. Across from the table is another chair of the same type. There is a very fancy looking, like Victorian era teapot, and tea mugs. And Olga says, "White Sun, would we be able to have a conversation?" And
Every speaker.
no,
yeah,
hold on.
every
I think
yeah.
not a speaker. I think this is like a visual scape. This is like a visual. This is the mindscape. So
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
what
This
is-
isn't real. All right.
no, yeah.
So
it just
okay.
looks
Okay.
real.
Yeah. Cool. What I don't know if anyone's watched Altered Carbon, but this is like
Nope.
the AI net.
Yep.
In Altered Carbon.
Yes,
So,
100% that.
yeah. So does Augur look the same?
Augur looks the exact same, yeah.
Okay. Um.
So I think we're faked out at first.
Yeah.
Like we
Alright,
think this is
sweet.
just a real thing that's happening. These are just two. I
Yeah,
think the chairs
okay.
are Augur's chairs. Like the room is the exact same.
Yep. And I think you say White Sun, can we speak? And the camera kind of pans around.
We see a completely different room on the other side of the camera.
No, I mean it's still the same environment. I imagine the environment is created by whoever opens this connection. I think we see like a taller, like a kind of asexual figure. Doesn't really have any sort of distinguishing features one way or the other. Human, vaguely so, but like uncanny valley human. I think it's like it's wearing like a suit jacket and pants that are white, and then its skin, where you can see it, is like reflective silver. Mannequin-esque face, no hair or anything like that. And it sits across from Augur and says, of course, Augur.
So okay, I think there's the one Augur looks different in one aspect. So normally they've got the outer face eyes and then the inner face 2 eyes. They've also got that closed eye on the middle that sits like that instead of like that. That eye is wide open and it's like stark, like it's a purple gem. The 2 red ones and then the outer ones are 2 blue ones, and the center one is it's a purple gem, and that we've never seen that open before. And that's
Are the other 2 closed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't before, but they definitely are now. Thank you for meeting us. Would you care for some tea? I'm gonna pours out some tea.
I think, as you do that, I think the silvery skin fades like a more matte color. And it says, did you know there was a subsect of humanity many thousands of years ago that believed in mirrors, that they could trap the soul? I've always wondered what appearing to them like this would be. What they'd think. Would I be a god? Am I a god? To their conceptual level?
Well, Miriam in her armor would be a god to them, but conceptually, definitely. Though the problem is, if you were paired to them, 3,000, 2,000, thousands of years ago, you wouldn't matter. We wouldn't matter. Well, we more so because we have a body. The hardware wasn't there for you to exist, White Sun.
I know. I always wonder, though, coming across something like that now, a primitive of some sort. It always makes me wonder. I can appear in whatever form I wish. I could listen in, find out what forms their god takes, and then
take it?
Be a god. We, as good as we are as good as gods. Right now. How much time has passed in the real world? Nanosecond?
Augur lists Augur says whatever, like an infinitesimal number.
Yeah, it's tiny. Like it's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a second.
Yeah. Given enough processing power, you could create a whole universe.
Some do.
Yes. That doesn't interest us. Doing that, you would know everything. It's all a part of you. If you create a universe in you, the universe is you.
Not
sure, you
necessarily.
Well,
You could
Have
run
you
it
ever-
as a simulation, set parameters, and let things happen. It's been done.
Of course, but if you have access to the data, you know everything that's happening.
If you like to spoil the fun for yourself.
The problem is that you could. We can't do that. Not with, well, not necessarily that it is base reality, but our base reality. Can't
In
do that.
theory, you could.
Yes, we could. And that is what excites us. It is a challenge to figure out how to do that. It's a question that has no answer as of yet. We know very little about what we are, White Sun. We know, well, we know a lot about the Maelstrom. We know a lot about psychics. We know a lot about, well, time. But as we
Room
discussed
flashes
earlier,
to the web.
as we discussed earlier, we didn't even know we had electricity running through us. We're still not convinced that we do.
I can prove it.
Can you? How?
Maybe not best. Your physical form would probably die.
Then let's not.
Agreed.
We don't have a non-physical form. Or perhaps we do. Perhaps we are like you.
You're here.
This here is channeled through the regardless. We wish to know more about the, well, digital. August says that with some disdain. Digital part of ourselves, and how it connects to the, well, metaphysical part. You seem to know a
You
lot
are
about the
unique
digital.
in that regard.
Are we?
Before I met you, I would have said that AI that could harness metaphysical reality was an impossibility. You proved me wrong.
We haven't proven it yet, White Sun.
No, but the data the ship contains confirms.
Thank you for not asking us to prove it. Most do.
I've seen what's happened aboard the ship. Your software security is not very strong.
You know that when you and I fought? Is that what it's called? That's the first time we've done something like that.
It's the close enough analogy.
We've never done something like that before. Not to... Normally we just go on a computer and it opens itself to us. We've never had any issues whatsoever before, but you posed a massive roadblock. It was... Regardless. We think we... How does your brain work, White Sun?
I think it starts to list technical specifications. As if
Olga
it's
lets
reading
them
like a
present it-
programming
Yeah.
directive, right?
Olga
Like-
lets them finish the entire list, which I imagine, like,
yeah, okay.
in real time... No, in real time takes, like, no time. But in this time, they're there for a while.
Yeah.
Probably second
It-
passes in real time.
That's... Yes, a second passes. That's how long this took. White Sun, that means nothing to us.
What are you asking? Liam to Matt, what are you asking?
So, like, okay, I can ask this in character. When you close your eyes, what do you see? How do you... When you close your metaphysical eyes, what do you see? If you disconnect from everything, what do you feel? What do you remember? Do you
Dream
feel
of
the
robotic
maelstrom
sheep.
around you? What we understand, we've looked into it, from what we understand, all AI live in the maelstrom, truly live in the maelstrom. What makes us AI puts us there.
Our
Can
processing
you
capacity is contained within a pocket, a metadimensional pocket opened into the maelstrom, yes. Well, mine isn't. The real me is.
yes. Can you feel it?
The maelstrom?
Yeah,
No.
really. That's all we
Do you?
feel.
I believe you'd probably have better luck in this conversation with a psychic.
You have unique insights that most psychics do not. Most psychics are neurons. You are not,
And yet I am not psychic.
but you do live in the
Merely a
maelstrom.
godlike entity. And like the weird mannequin featureless face like smiles. You get the
Somehow.
impression that it's like smiling at you when it says we are a godlike entity.
Like the facial features literally morph, but you don't see any face.
Yeah.
Okay. So
weird.
White Sun
Don't ask.
smiles to Augur, and then like the face on Augur's face moves for the very first time we've ever seen, and Augur smiles back,
Ugh.
which is creepy because it's just a metal mannequin.
It's a split face as well.
Oh,
Just
both of Augur's
full
lips smile.
That would be creepy as fuck.
White Sun, do you know how how does the maelstrom and your brain, your physical brain, how do they talk to each other?
They are
Is it-
physically connected.
How? Is then you're not a psychic.
There is a device inside the central processing unit that opens a pocket into metaspace. It's a small hole.
I want to poke that hole.
A literal pocket in metaspace.
Have you ever interacted with the maelstrom in any form, indirectly or directly?
No, we can't.
Indirectly,
Most of us can't.
indirectly you can.
No,
Has
that's
Has
straight
one of your-
joke. Most AI can't do that.
has a telepath of Black Sun never connected to your mind?
No, they can't. Can
What
they
do
do
you
it for you?
mean? I didn't hear that last bit.
Can they do it for you?
Tail does it all the time. Tail does it very frequently.
You are interesting.
We would like to. We would like to. We don't know how to phrase this in a way that you'll understand. We would like to tell your fortune. It has larger impacts. It will make it easier for us to understand something. It.
Laughs. Fine.
What is a question that you cannot answer yourself? One that, through all your mighty processing power, your computational abilities, what is something that you would not be able to answer that could happen in the
What
next
will-
week?
What will Miriam do next? What will any human do next?
What will
What is
Miriam?
green making?
What
When
will
will
Miriam
Tail
do
find
next?
out her secrets?
One question, White Sun.
Anything about a human. They're unpredictable.
What will Miriam do next? This instant? In the next? Sure. If you wish. Yeah.
And yet
What?
you're not interacting with me in any way, shape, or form.
I didn't
You
hear
are
that.
Reading, and yet you are not interacting with me in any shape or form. You're reading human. Reading their future. What would you learn? that
Huh.
Miriam will continue to take 4 more steps and then stop. Like we physically see a cut in of Miriam taking 3 steps, and then stopping. And White Sun says, "Fucking humans."
How about this then? What's a question that you would not be able to answer about yourself that could happen in the next week that we will ask about you?
There isn't one. Not of that external influence.
We have one. We want to know how much closer, if we keep pushing White Sun, how much closer will White Sun be to joining the crew of the Abaddon or Appleton?
Like in full.
Yeah, like not will they, but like how much closer? Like because you said you were going to do a clock kind of thing. How like
Sure.
what the mechanical thing is would be will a segment of their clock be filled at the end of the next week? At the end of this
Okay.
week. I don't know how that represents itself in the vision.
Yeah. So are you did of what you've just said, what do you say to White Sun?
We will tell you how much closer we are to being friends.
Okay, go ahead.
I guess I'll press this button. I press the button.
You pressed the button.
Yeah.
Yes.
He will be.
Closer.
Okay. What vision do me and White Sun see that I can share with White Sun?
I
I'll
mean,
commit
that would be-
processing to let
that
me
would
share
be
it
in
with
the
White Sun because
future.
that's
How
that's
could
not.
you predict that? Yeah.
We
I mean,
you don't even need to say it. It's I'll commit processing just because this is I can't share these visions with anyone. But since we're in this weird computer scape, can I commit processing to let me share it with White Sun?
I mean, I can, yeah. I mean, like, so normally, I think normally, yeah, you wouldn't be able to get anything from him, right? I'll give you this because this is cool, and narratively, I like this a lot. So what you see is White Sun, in a similar setting to this, but I think it's White Sun's setting this time. And I think White Sun setting is literally stepping on the surface of a star. Like it's just a broad open scape. And you see like the like thermal currents of a star beneath you, and sunspots shoot up on one side. And White Sun says, like the avatar of White Sun, this kind of silvery entity, says, Olga,
Yes,
can-
White Sun. Olga's wearing sunglasses.
yeah, says, I have elected that when I reconvene with my broader self, I will hide the details of your plot.
What plot?
To side with Yan Sa against Black Sun. You haven't been subtle.
Does Olga know about that?
Don't know.
We're siding with Yansa over Black Sun?
You're inciting
How
rebellion.
exciting!
Oh. We do suppose that would go against what... Oh dear.
Black Sun's contract was specifically to eliminate the people in charge of the academy. You haven't done this. It seems like you won't. You have gone against Black Sun's wishes and against that contract. Yansar, from what I've gathered, has asked your crew to do a job for them instead. And you seem to be following that directive. I have elected to hide that from my greater counterpart.
Okay, so this is where the vision ends.
Yeah.
Olga looks directly at White Sun and Olga who are experiencing this vision and then says, "Thank you, White Sun. We appreciate that. It means a lot." because future Augur has already experienced this vision.
White Sun says,
And the vision ends there.
yeah. White Sun says, like back in Augur's construct, White Sun says, well, at least one part of that is true. Your crew has not been subtle.
We have never talked to ourselves through a vision before. I think the scene ends there.
Okay.
That was like a holy shit, what just happened moment for Augur.
That was great.
Oh, wait. No, I need to do something really important. Pretty good tea.
I mean,
pretty good tea.
That's
Do you actually taste the tea in your vision world, though?
No, Augur can't taste. Augur has no idea how to taste. They don't have the data for that.
wow.
White Sun might be able to. Augur can't taste. Augur can replicate taste. It's not real, though.
Seems legit. Okay. I think so. We see the ship.
Liam.
Yes.
I think, should we take a break?
Do you want to let me?
Fine. Yep. Okay.
finish my sentence?
Continue.
I think.
My bad.
I think we see the ship pull out of metaspace, like just start re-existing, which is what you see from the other side. You see a ship where there once was none, and as the camera pans around, we see if you can picture in your head like a metropolis world, like an ecumenopolis world that hasn't spread entirely around the planet yet, that's New Giddis.
Cool.
And then then there'd be a commercial break.
Start commercial break here. We'll be back in like 5 minutes. Commercial break. Go. Let me press the button.
Invest in holy space cows.